He released Rosfeld on a $250,000 unsecured bond. Now that means Rosfeld, as you heard, did not have to put up any money for his release. There was no question in my mind the defendant was not a flight risk.
Meek Mill's case has denied his request for bail. The judge, Jenny Brinkley, says that he's a flight risk and he is a danger to the community.
How many Americas are there again? Oh, that's right, there's two. One in which a white police officer named Michael Rosfeld can face homicide charges for shooting an unarmed black teen 3 times in the back, only to be released without having to pay a single damn penny in bail. But in the other America, the one where the racist justice system is programmed to cripple people of color, you all remember Meek Mill, right? The rapper sent back to jail for violating parole, yet he was denied bond for popping a wheelie in the same state. That's where you get the likes of Kalief Browder, who you remember was falsely accused of stealing a backpack and spent 3 years in prison in Rikers Island, some of that time in solitary confinement. When he faced the theft charges, his bail was set at $3,000 initially, which his family struggled but then managed to raise enough to pay for. But of course, in that America, it doesn't matter because the judge later changed his mind and decided to deny bail altogether. And so he was kept imprisoned in a literal hell on earth, and the end result, well, we all know what happened. So let me ask you, in what world is someone who is falsely accused of theft sent to one of the most brutal prisons in the world, resulting in years of torment to the point where he took his own life, while a man who committed homicide on camera is allowed to enjoy the comfort of his own home while he awaits trial? Now I know, I'm well prepared that the race deflectors will respond with the different state, different rules to remove that discomfort they feel when faced with injustice. So since you brought up rules, let's have a look at what the state of Pennsylvania's constitution says. If you're charged with a crime where the maximum sentence is life in prison, you are not entitled to bond. Well, that's interesting. I mean, it's written plain and simple. I wonder why the judge chose to handle this homicide with kid gloves. Let's look at what he had to say.
I'm not going to defend myself to anyone except to God and the president judge.
Okay. How many times does white privilege have to slap people in the face before they realize this is exactly what the system is programmed to do? It's not broken because for something to be broken, it would have to have worked in the first place. But it's never worked, not for black and brown people in this country anyway. Countless Americans of color are held without bond for minor charges and forced to spend long stretches of time behind bars before they're even given a chance to plead their case. Meanwhile, officers like Rosfeld are protected and coddled despite facing a life sentence for killing a 17-year-old. Now, do I bring both of these examples to your attention because they represent similar cases? No, because there is no similarity here. There's video footage in one instance of an officer with a past history of gross misconduct shooting Antwon Rose in the back, while in the other, Kalief Browder was wrongfully accused of theft with no evidence of wrongdoing, but yet was handled with a level of severity you would expect for someone who had committed homicide on camera. We live in two Americas, but it's up to you whether you see that and do what you can to help shed light on it, or just ignore it and pretend we're all treated the same because you're treated well.